세러데이 쇼다운 D+ 기아 대 BNK POX.
Play Senna Alistair into a Nico draft. Almost feels like they're baiting the Kalista, but Viper won't fall for it.
No, not
He's
this
gonna
time.
play the Jhin, which is also very strong in the early 2v2.
I do like what Hanwha have put together. I do think that most of the time I get a little bit worried about Jhin, but here in the laning phase, it should have a fair bit of priority. And they just need to make sure that they can win this game before the Senna becomes impossible to deal with. Maybe also just let Ruler know that the build has changed for Senna as well. And you need to do that full HP, full mana build at all. And I also think trying to get through this top lane against Keen's Aurora is going to be a tough one. As Duro taking a little bit of damage here. There are 2 Jhins. That's too few Jhins, or 1 too many in my opinion. Spent a little bit of time towards the bottom side as Canyon is going to find him in the jungle. The Tangle Barbs does come on down, but you can see Delight in a little bit of trouble, has to flash out of the way.
And Peanut's going to look for a dive here. Let's see if this works better than the EWC ones.
Yeah, you can see Keen does bounce away to the other side, but Delight not too worried about it. He's a cannon minion, just having a great time here as the Realm Warp from Zeka will be able to deliver him, and I don't think Keen's surviving this one. Down he will go. Is that his first blood? The answering kill is going to happen on the top side of the map here as Duro able to tank off the last hit of the turret. Drink your potions, ladies and gentlemen. That
Rise, right? Like, it's so many resources used, and now there's just nothing to bail Zeus out. The kill does go over to the Wukong here. We're not quite able to secure that one. Duro drinks his potion, tanks the aggro really well.
He is now in a pretty weird spot, as now Canyon gets the smite on that last grub, and Duro is just waiting for this Gwen. So it's likely that Zeus is just dead yet again. He does flash, try and get himself out of the way, but the Cyclone should be able to catch up to him. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the game plan was.
Yeah, that was really bizarre, but at least they get the scuttle. And the Wukong is going to use the gold well.
Okay, it's a little bit weird. Pop Blossom is going to come through there as Duro's only level 5. Zeka's going to move over, and maybe he gets another one. He doesn't even get an assist as Viper locks down that kill. Has a camp towards his top side of the map, and now Zeus left to the Wolves, or maybe the Cows, as he just gets knocked up to high heaven and can't even get the needlework out. That is going to be Pizza Warfare over to Gen G.
There is no cross map here for HLE. Rotation down from Delight. There's the TP. They've got to do something.
Well, they are going to at least save the turret. Let's see whether they can get anything else as well, as Delight does manage to find the snare. Viper there as well with the deadly flourish. And Canyon, Warrior Trickston, flashes over the wall. And he even gets a bit of a heal. The curtains are being called, though, as now Ruler slowed down. 4th one comes in. He gives him a bit of an emote as he tanks all the damage. But it was going to be another Mountain Soul. This time it's a Cloud. You love to see it. As Zeus is going to skirt real far away, as Duro is still here, just protecting in the jungle. Long way around there for Zeus.
It's because it takes them so long to get here, and also the fact that, like, it looks like Viper and Delight were going up there. They're going to be delayed on their farm. And then the Aurora's still pushing bottom side here. Peanut can't get into his jungle, and the top turret is just lost.
Well, Deadly Flourish does go down. Crescent Guard not going to help Peanut as he does flash away and keeps himself alive. But keeping yourself alive is not what HLE want to do.
Zeka should be okay here. I don't quite think Duro reaches him. Exhaust?
Yeah, he just headbutts his way over there as the Exhaust does come in. Phase Rush and Flash are enough to get Zeka to relative safety, as now Zeus in a little bit of trouble. But now Delight makes his way over, finds the Pop Blossom, almost just, in fact, does die to the turret, and I don't even think they kill Chovy. So that was weird.
As we'll watch this again, Chovy has the stun here, drops Tibbers down. The turret aggro is picked up here early by the Nico, and then he's just dead. And then Chovy just walks it off with the stun. He's like, all right.
Yeah, so you got the Aurora and the Gwen both on flank angles, but Keen taking a little while longer to get here. See whether HLE can actually find a way in as Duro. He's ready. He's ready to look for this, as there is the smite from Canyon. Duro finding the pulverize, but it's only onto one, as now Zeka able to get a fair bit of DPS. Duro trying to run his way out as the needlework comes in. Dawning Shadow, Zeus so close to death, but Tibbers not able to burn that one out just yet. Great knockback there with the Crescent Guard out of Peanut. The root. They are still trying to get out, and that is the root connecting. Keen able to lock that one down. Another flash going to be burned there as Zeka is just going to get pooped on the noggin by Canyon. A big teamfight win there from Gen G, and they managed to get the objective.
Gen G just looking like they are a tier above. Chovy's going to grab this turret as well as a second charge goes over in the top lane. This game is all but over. 5,500 gold to lead at 16.5 minutes for the Senna composition, and that was a beautiful team fight from Gen G. 3 turrets that were picked up. They got that extra charge topside. They're going to get the first dragon for them of the game. Going to see a funky teleport here from Duro. It does not catch his opposition. Jovi's chilling.
Yeah, wind becomes nothing as Peanut needs to be healed to make his way out in a 1 versus 3 against Jovi. Well, gets him behind them.
They have a control ward here, and he is spotted now. And he's just going to go push mid instead, as it looks like HLE, no confidence to contest this objective. The Jhin, the Rise, nowhere near this. TP going to come through for safety from Keen. And Genji are saying just +1.
Just to make sure that they get it. The ward does go over as now Delight getting a snare onto Duro. Now they're going to look away from this Otacon and just destroy Peanut. Zeka able to get out of there, but man, they are not going to be able to defend this Otacon take. And Genji just own the Rift right now. Keen flashes in, doesn't manage to get Zeka, which was the prime target, but gets his flash as he immediately gets himself the heck out of there.
I think they could probably still win from here. That's the lead they have. That's the map control they have. His ruler may just be in the ruler spot.
Yeah, he is definitely in the ruler spot, but he does cleanse the slow. Pop Blossom not going to quite find ruler, but he's still dead. They do manage to catch out Duro, who's flashing to get himself away. As Genji, losing ruler in the ruler spot is something they're very used to, but now they have to contend with this. The Pulverize, so good in that moment, but Chovy still in so much trouble. He flashes away though, and he survives, and now the Wukong has found them. Finally, the kill does come on through there as they lock down the kill onto the cow at the same time, and now Canyon, a massive shutdown available here for Viper if he can get there, but still Canyon's running away. We need to find some of these bullets as the needlework comes in, and Zeus will finally get a shutdown, and HLE, that is so much money. Still Soul Point up on the table here as Duro possibly out of position. The rest of the team are looking to make their way over though. And Delight, that was his clone. They do have full information. Duro still does have his ultimate, but is down to 50%, so might need to use it earlier than he'd otherwise want, as captive audience is going to be there. They're looking for Viper, who he just wants to walk to join the fight, but Chovy finds the auto, and down goes the Jhin before anything could even start.
The second dragon here for Genji this game is going to give them more rotational power on the map. These Cloud Drakes stacking up. For a potential pick on the Zeus, he has no TP. They know exactly where he is. That back is not going to complete.
Nope, that is not going to work. He's going to do some needle stuff as Duro almost dies, but he is still going to be taken down. Duro is going to live. They get his ult. That is about it. I don't know whether it really puts HLE in a good position in
this
game.
It's a less bad position.
I would say less bad is exactly right, as Zeka is going to discover, Keen is going to discover Zeka, I think I should say. And now they're looking for it. Delight is just going to die. Zeka is now very dead as Realm Warp, never mind. Just gets himself out. Now Peanut dealing with a bear underneath the turret, but does use his Crescent Guard to get himself out of there, but there's some long cooldowns invested.
There's moments where the observers have to zoom out so you can see the carnage on both sides. As Peanut's exhausted.
Yeah, over the wall goes Canyon. He tries to do something funny, but Ruler comes on over and helps take him down with Keen. And so, yeah, Genji, I think it should just be Baron time.
Where's the angle here for Hanwha Life? I mean, Zeka, he doesn't have 16. He will eventually get it. We all want to drop a bear sometimes.
Indeed. As an Australian, I know all about drop bears. And now the Pop Blossom is going to find a couple here as Ruler does cleanse it. Delight, his work is done, but oh god, it was not enough. They do manage to get Keen. Congratulations for that one, but their base is now in tatters. Peanut's also going to get slowed down and then destroyed. Ruler getting his revenge after that overstep in mid, and Genji are just going to look to end game number 1 pretty swiftly here as they follow their Baroned up minions. Viper, oh my goodness, almost just destroyed by his former mid laner as the curtains are going to get called, but I don't think it's for Genji as the bullets are going to sail by. Ruler with the emote spam. Looking pretty cute there, but this Nexus is going to be the focus. Viper will get taken down one more time. And there goes the Nexus. Genji from strength to strength. Remember, guys, they got home yesterday.
Oh, yes, Peanut's looking for 2,000. I would have gotten more in one game than he needed this whole series to get it. Gets 1,500. Here's the third player to do so. Canyon just crushing him in the jungle in this game, and that might have been the biggest gap of all in game 1.
I would agree with you there, and maybe Canyon beats Peanut to 2,000. I know Peanut only needs 6 more kills, but at this rate, Canyon might get there first. 500, 6, I guess it's, you know, there's a decent gap, but I think he's made infinitely more progress here in this game than Peanut did. As, yeah, that graph, not exactly the most linear, but it was still all blue here for Genji. Looking absolutely... Yep, this is certainly one of his favorites and has worked in this matchup in the past. It doesn't necessarily make you feel like he's going to slaughter the lane. Still, I don't think there's a big edge here or anything like that for HLE in this draft.
I feel like you have to be really careful about the battles you choose to fight as Hanwha Life with this draft, because while you have great pick potential with the backline access to the Mbessa, the burst damage that Lucian has to follow up on something like a flickback that Seismic Shove onto anybody. Even an aggressive Jarvan can be punished. It's hard to play Jarvan into Taliyah in situations like this.
Well, if they win 2 in a row here, they might just be able to do so. Let's dive into the Rift for game 2. And so now, level 2 gank time against Zeka could be the option.
Jarvan's one of those champs, man, that can make it happen. Zeka is going to have to walk away.
The thing is, he skates away, and so Canyon is not going to be able to kill him. And now, Peanut is just being annoying on this Sejuani. Of course, one of his more successful picks, as he is just going to face check here. Canyon locks this one down as Duro could be in trouble. Viper's here for some reason, but Chovy is also. And now Ruler making his way over, the Valkyrie in as Zeka turns up. Seismic Shove goes down, but Peanut is just dead. Canyon might be traded, but he is going to make it back to the rest of his teammates.
Duro!
As Duro, that was massive. The Shattering Strike so good as Viper's the target, and it's a double kill for Ruler. Zeka as well now trying to run away as the concussive blows comes down, but the crash down is too good here as the shove comes back, but he has to sacrifice himself, and Chovy gets a big old shield, and they do manage to get the feats of warfare off the back of a 5-minute skirmish.
Yeah, watch this play.
Yeah, from Duro's perspective, man, that shadow. Absolutely gorgeous. And even make sure that Ruler gets the double kill in the back end of it. As he's calling the majority of this fight, something that Arnold was actually talking about on the in the studio.
It's just interesting to see similar trajectories here, but a faster one for Duro as Chovy may be in trouble.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide doesn't really do too much here as Canyon looking to come in. They do have information, but it is going to be the smite out from Peanut that will work. Still, the Light could be in trouble as he wants to stand beside his teammates, but the all-out is going to prevent that from happening. And that means that the flashless Braum is just food here for Gen G. Yeah, not his favorite position.
Zeka doesn't have flash, and it's an awkward angle if he tries to Weaver's wall in. Even though Chovy's low and doesn't have Emperor's Divide, it's just too greedy, I think, to go in. He's considering it still, though.
Level 6 was just picked up, as he does have the Glacial Prison now available. Duro in trouble. There's a public execution to try and lock him down. He does crash over the wall. Winter's Bite follows him. It will be the Grubs going over to HLE.
Surfing. Speaking of surfing, Zeka does show up first.
Yeah, Glacial Prison does come down. There it is. As Canyon is just dead. Peanut gonna go down. And even if the red had have gone over to Canyon, it would have immediately transferred back to Peanut. There is Viper towards bottom side, but he's a fair way away from his teammates. They're going to get tagged. There's a Magnet Storm, but it doesn't really get what they want done. Canyon gets into the backline, but he's exhausted, and now Viper will show up. Keen's at full health, though, and I don't think they can make anything happen here. I don't know about that one. Zayas is 3-man! Emperor's Divide from Chovy as they take down Peanut as well. They take down the Dragon. Chovy does die. Zayas is limping away, now HLE. They're looking for it. Keen wants to be able to find it onto Zayas, but he's toying with them and even finds the kill on the back end. I have absolutely no idea how he survived that eclipse. Zayas going to move on over to help take this one out. That will happen. 2 minutes until the Dragon as well. Pretty good timer. He's looking to get himself out of the way. Rift Herald actually invested towards the bottom side. That is going to guarantee the feats of strength here, as first Heart Blood will go over to HLE.
He's like, yeah, it's going to take you a while to take this. I'm just simply not going to try to defend. I'm not going to let you dive, get a kill plus turret, as that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they don't quite get the charge in the mid lane, but Viper is going to come on up and look to get a bit of extra damage down. And that might actually get Gen G over here. The culling going to be invested just to make sure this finally goes down. It's Peanut feeling very old after that one. Felt like it really took years off his life to kill that Dragon.
Yeah, Ruler is here.
Yeah, they are really,
I mean, look at the flank side. The flank from Chovy, too. HLE might just want to let this turret go.
Seismic Shove going wide here. Chovy gets into the backline, finds nothing with the ulti as Zeka tries to get himself out. They blow up the Braum immediately, but Peanut is so tanky, and the public execution into the backline from Zayas is so good. The all-out now from Keen onto Viper will be able to take him down, but Zeka is there with the damage, and Zayas, how dare you keep limping away from these fights?
So close to death again. Canyon wanting to go on to Zeka here.
Yeah, trying to find more of the threaded volleys coming down, but it is not the Seismic Shove to find the mark. And Gen G have the health lead. Teleport back in here. as well.
Yeah.
As HLE looking to really get the pincer in.
Double TP because they know the health bars here are low from Gen.G if they...
He's going to come in. Zeka is still here. And Duro threatening that Magnet Storm. They have to be so careful. There's the ulti, and they do push Duro away. As Peanut's going to be a 50-50 on the smite, but it's locked down there by Canyon, evening out the Dragon score as Chovy's going to get exhausted. And then the public execution comes down. He holds the ulti. He goes golden Delight. Now in an awkward position, and down goes Zeka. He finds the backline, and Viper goes down. Chovy playing it so beautifully, and they obliterate the team fight. HLE were looking so good until it was all done and dusted. Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff. We're going to have a look at it from Chovy's perspective. And I felt like they had managed to line it up, but you saw in Viper's play, he just didn't quite find a way to just hit targets that were in front of him, right? He was looking for the priority targets, wanted to get the assassinations down, and it just didn't work. Ruler, huge praise there with a nice actually does have the huge praise at the end. I thought it was actually kind of funny. Trophy and stuff like that, I looked down, Canyon's 100% kill contribution, 0, 1, and 12 on this Jarvan. As Ruler could be a little bit pushed up. The flash forward there from Viper should be able to spell his demise. Dashing out is Viper, but there's the Cataclysm to slam dunk the Lucian. And Keen will show up in the nick of time as well. Peanut's pretty tanky, but I don't think he's tanky enough to deal with this. As Canyon going down low, but Zeka not going to be able to finish him off. Emperor's Divide, but it's avoided there by Zeus beautifully with the ulti, but it's still so defensive. As Zeka looking for that angle onto Keen, but he is still okay. Dashing around like a madman as Zeus. But Gen.G not going to lose anyone other than Ruler in trade for both Peanut and Viper.
I almost felt like for a second Gen.G forgot in that extended fight that their AD carry was not there. He was dead.
Yeah, gets that control ward down. This is somewhat dangerous as now Zeka's going to make his way in. Seismic Shove avoided beautifully by the Zhonya's out at Chovy. The Baron getting amongst it though. Ruler is coming in, but he's a little bit late to this as Chovy gets himself out, but now he's not there for this fight. There is no DPS here for Gen.G. And it's looking a little bit like a leash. I say leash, Peanut is still not quite here yet. Public execution doesn't quite get there. Duro gets into the pit. Somehow it's a Braum that locks down the Baron. Down goes Canyon as well as HLE do make their way back into this one in a big way.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a greedy attempt there from the side of Gen.G, and they do get punished.
And they've still got a lot of turrets left up on this map. The outer and mid still up and available as Canyon finds the angle onto Zeka here.
Yeah, and with no objective up except the Baron that Hanu are holding, it's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, Chovy doesn't find Peanut there. Good hands on the old man. Nicely done. Gets himself out with the Arctic Assault as the culling is just tanked by Keen pretty comfortably. A wall comes on through for a reason, I'm sure.
Is still up here for Gen.G. I think Baron successfully neutered here in terms of the real damage it could have done. And Gen.G just buys so much space.
As Canyon gets tagged, but isn't too worried. Also has GA available as well, so he's happy to tank for quite some time on this J4.
Yeah, Peanut trying to look for a flank angle, but is spotted and just gonna be tracked.
Chovy finding the angle onto Delight, the one man without his flash available. He got his redemption off though, and there is the public execution. They take down Chovy. The all-out is pretty good though, as it's a double for the Corki. As now Viper dashes forward. He's crazy, but he is able to get himself back out with the Relentless Pursuit once again. A 2-for-2 trade, but Gen.G still get the inside track on this Dragon.
It's a huge win for Viper in this scenario, but it's not enough. Life Esports
that
really...
ward is actually out of range of the controller. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it could actually bait Gen.G into a false sense of security, but they're still positioned well. Ruler though!
This is unfortunate, as that is going to be the catch out onto Keen. He eats so much of the CC, but the Seismic Shove is going to catch him. Zeus was looking for it, but Keen survives. And Delight tanks so much damage there. I think it was like 2 auto attacks from Sand Soldiers, as they are so scary.
This is crazy over the wall.
Yeah, Ruler is going to have to use the cleanse and the flash to get out of the Seismic Shove. But Peanut, he is going to go over and check this. Duro is in the pit. He needs to try and find his way out, but he decides not to. Instead, he's going in, looking for an engage. Keen gets in front of him, but it's the Baron that kills him. And HLE, I don't think they want to go for a Baron off the back of this because, of course, they are taking a lot of damage themselves. Chovy, I mean, if these Sand Soldiers get any autos, it feels like they just get destroyed. Why was this champion buffed? I'm so mad.
That's actually dumb. Gonna really have to make sure he buys space as Gen.G once again trying to collapse on him.
Yeah, looking for that angle. The Glacial Prison is going to be collected there by Kane. He's taking so much damage. Eats a bunch of the CC, including the Glacial Fissure. as now he's looking to get himself out. The wall is going to be ridden here by Zeka as Keen finds the all-out onto him, and can he take him down? Yes, he can. Zeus gets in there as the Emperor's Divide comes down. They take out the Rel in exchange, and it is not equal at all.
Not a fair trade. That turn on the Zeka from Keen. This guy is insane. Who's flanking whom? Keen turns and takes him out. And that is Hex Tech Soul over to Gen G. And look at the turn towards Baron.
Yep, that it should be the backbreaker, as Keen is just so incredibly big, man. He's hit critical mass is what it feels like, 6-2 and 7 on this Cassante. And Zeus has had a lead for the majority of this game, but that 1.3k just feels like it means nothing at this point, as Keen is tanking every button that HLE has, and while the rest of his team take the Baron.
Oh, Keen Atlas.
He's a monster. Why up? Zeka, why we go up? That's my question. And maybe he's asking the same one there, as they perhaps just thought they had a better angle in that fight. Keen finishes him off, as Canyon looking to get the push here, but Zeus is going to find him. Still think Zeus wins that 1v1, but Canyon looking to try and make his way out as the rest of his team just wanted to end this game. Peanut finds the knockup onto his former teammate, and the wall comes on through, but I just don't think they really care about walls being set up. And there's another one. This one from Chovy is a lot more devastating. Zeka goes golden himself, and the all-out is just going to murder Keen. That was a little bit of an interesting choice, as now Viper in a decent spot, but it's a triple for Ruler. Make it a quadra. He sees Penta. He sees it in his eyes, and he does so much. There it is! The Penta kill for Ruler in their first match of round 3. Gen G remain undefeated, 27-0.
Started to pick onto Viper. Keen's turnaround onto the flank. And Gen G, they qualify for playoffs. They qualify for Worlds in Game 1, their 19th LCK series. And they will see you in China.
Yeah, they will.
I heard an unconfirmed report. Again, this is just speculation, but it comes from
here in the LCK, and finally, his team allows him to take it. And when you do almost 50k damage, you can understand that.
It's just a crazy composition here for Gen G. So much comfort. I think Keen is Palm, though. I'm going to have to say it, Atlas. It was.
I mean, I would have voted for Keen, 100%.
It was pretty insane, his performance across both games to me, but there's an argument for Canyon.
Yep.
There's an argument for Ruler. There's an argument for Chovy. There's a small argument for Duro.
Let's have a look at who it is. It's Keen that picks it up. There is justice in this world, Wolf.
Yeah, it was not a tough choice for me, even though I think everyone on Gen G had a huge part to play in this game.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Keen on the side of Gen G. Congratulations! Thank you. With today's victory, you secured top 4 of the final standings, along with a spot in the playoffs and Worlds. Did you expect to secure everything so soon? And how are you feeling? At the beginning of the season, I did not dream of getting this far with such a long consecutive victory. And I think being able to secure Worlds and playoffs, it actually makes me feel a lot more comfortable now. And does anyone remember the last time Gen G lost? With today's victory, you're on a 27 series winning streak, including EWC. So does it feel like your team is just constantly growing stronger? You know, I feel like we had so many experiences going to best of 5s. And I think now we're at a point where we know that by the end of the series, we know that we can win. So I think at this point, I believe that everyone's just enjoying the game. And in Game 2, with enemy and Bessa's power, team fighting was crucial. So in every teamfight angle, your teammates carried out their roles perfectly. What is Gen G's secret to such traits? I feel like we have cleaned up our shot calling and communication through all the team fights that we have learned how to do and pull off such good trades eventually. So I think that's what really brought us to this point, and we're able to carry that out. And it's such a shame that we have to pick only one highlight, but let's take a look at the craziest team fight moments. You know, at first it was a little awkward and iffy, but in the end, I think we fought pretty well. So what was your read on this angle? You know, individually we were quite split, so we really had to fight well and it had to be perfect, but Chovy was able to toss the enemy Lucian, and I think in the end we were able to clean out pretty well. And yeah, even Ruler was so impressed in this moment. He said, "Why are you guys so good at fighting?" Yeah, I think in the team fight, Azir did really well. So honestly, kudos to Chovy. And from the first match of your round 3, you have already secured playoffs. And with this momentum, how many consecutive wins are you going for? You know, continuing our consecutive wins is a great thing, but personally, I actually haven't been paying too much of attention to it. And I think I'll just have to keep trying and make sure that we just keep winning. Maybe my goal would be to just keep winning, but I think just to actually just win it all until the very end. And this coming Friday, you'll be at the Inspire Arena for a LCK team roadshow against T1. So what mindset will you prepare with? You know, we won in our own homestand match, and I hope that we're able to win on another big stage, and it's going to make me really happy. And that's the end of the interview with Kiin, and back to the space. Thank you.